The League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen is a fertile ground for cogent thought about many different subjects and topics ranging from the art of the graphic novel to current films and picture shows in display around this great country of ours, and usually we take it quite seriously.
Indeed. I was just supping on a cold glass of Chardonnay just the other day, thinking of the obscure references that made me chuckle in the last Leog 11. And now we've come to Leog 12. A gem of all Leogs, but a departure from our normal formula.
Certainly we try to strive to create the different, the unique, even, dare I say it, the experimental. And this time, we've tried something wholly unheard of in the annals of spill broadcasting, while certainly we have plied our sensitive gray matter with the imbibing alcohol before during these sessions, never quite to this level.
Indeed, we've added a certain amount of, shall we say, je ne sais quoi, to this Leog by basically interpreting a drunken brawl for you viewers.
To translate into terms which someone might be able to understand who actually listens to us, we invited a whole bunch of people over and we got wasted.
Oh my god, we were so drunk, man! Oh, Jesus!
We try not to talk over each other constantly and not turn into the sort of drunken, complete orgy of mindless talking that Leog 12 ended up becoming. But you know what? In its own way, this was totally awesome.
Look, let me just put it this way. I was the most sober one.
Yeah, that is true.
God.
I'll put it this way. At the end of the night, I tucked in Jason. This isn't going to be like this every time, but we wanted to try out the Leog party, and this is it. This is the lounge party, so, and without further ado, Leog 12.
Leog 12.
Shit, if this gonna be that kind of party, I'm gonna stick my dick in the mashed potatoes.
Hey guys, welcome to Leog number 12.
Dude, do you have to do that DJ voice? like the most cheesiest DJ voice. Like it's
morning
show.
Zoo,
What you're doing?
At
All
least
the
he's-
way back now to 1973 for Leog number 12.
Like even Casey Kasem would hear that and go, "Really?"
No, you wouldn't.
At least he's not singing anymore.
Casey Kasem, Rick Dees. Can we get some disco duck, Cyrus?
Hell yeah. What? Y'all are staring at me like there's something wrong with Disco Duck.
No, I'm staring at you like there's something wrong with your singing.
I didn't sing.
I've
that
heard
was
you sing.
Leog number 4.
Yes.
All right, so
Anyway.
the League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen.
Yes. What do we do, Leon? Tell us a little
Well,
bit
we
about it.
basically cover the rest of entertainment news and topics that a couple of cold ones with Corey and whoever doesn't manage to cover. There might be some overlap, but we have a sort of a comic book centric view here,
To say the
because
least.
as it turns out, comic book movies are the thing that makes all the money now, and we have a lot of closet comic book fans who love to come hear us talk about goddamn comic books, as well as television and movies.
Yes. It's
And,
like
and whatever else.
Say all you want about us being geeks for like comic books. The Dark Knight is the second highest grossing film of all time. Guess who's in charge?
Exactly.
We win. Ha
Game
you,
over.
you beat us up in high school, but
Yes.
but now we rule.
So introductions.
Yes, all around. Okay, so we've got Leon
Of course, everybody knows Leon.
and me, Cyrus.
Some people know him.
Some people know me. A lesser group, to be sure. But
But
some.
rounding out our cast is
Talking about lesser,
Jason.
Son of a bitch. It's Cyrus's little friend Bo.
And no one knows me at all.
And
and our musical director.
and our musical director, Greg.
we
Suck
do.
it, haters.
Yeah, take that, bitches.
Hey, I love the bass.
You don't like the well, you
I-
know.
I-
you just have to be educated. It's okay.
I don't
It's
simply
all
love
good.
the bass. I fucking love the bass.
Yeah.
So anybody who has a problem with it, too bad.
So it's an erotic
So I'm gonna move a little
experience.
farther away from you because you fucking love the bass.
No, actually move it closer.
Oh,
you know what?
That's a little uncomfortable.
I
Yeah,
should
this
tell
is
everyone that
uncomfortable
we
for
are
all of us.
well into our drinking tonight, maybe more so than ever.
This would be the first ever party, Leon.
Yeah, you might be able to hear the buzzing crowd in the background.
And when we say buzz, we're not talking about noise.
Bunch of beers.
Yeah.
All right, rock and roll.
Hey, you know,
yeah.
Thank you, drunken morons in my house.
Well, you know what? Hey, it's just a big Rat Pack party down here, and if you live in Austin, you should contact us and try to get in on it.
Angie Dickinson's going to show up here pretty
Otherwise,
Suck my knob, policeman.
Of course, the odds are against you getting in.
right? I
because-
mean, you might live in another part of the country, another part of the world, in which case you can listen and be jealous.
or you might live here and just be unattractive.
True. we're kind of like,
And then
like
you
the-
belong here,
It's,
actually.
it's like the Charles Xavier School. Like have you ever noticed, like only like the pretty mutants get to be X-Men?
Oh, yeah.
And if you're not pretty, the Morlocks have a program also.
right.
Go by Main Street and hang a left at the manhole cover.
Yeah, exactly.
If you hang out in the X-Men long enough,
Go.
your race changes, to some more appropriate to their needs at that time.
You go from black to high yellow.
I used to be a big dumb-looking jock, but now I'm a blue pretty pussycat.
Anyway, that's the introduction. So yeah, great. Now, last week Greg couldn't be here, and I don't know if it was just that he was a little depressed because some people didn't like him on the previous Leog, and like I said, suck it, haters.
No, I was depressed because my battery in my car went out. I had to get it towed.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good reason. Yeah.
Seriously, that's what
But-
happened.
And
Look,
because people
all I want to
hated
say
you.
about the haters is like when I was first starting to read the comments, I was like, man, people are not liking this bass. Until I realized it was the same guy who posted like 7 comments.
So it wasn't people.
Hey,
He
man.
had 8
Yeah.
different accounts.
And thanks
Yeah.
for listening, buddy. Seriously, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
But
Thanks for
guess
your-
what?
Thanks
Greg's
for your
back.
chorus of sock puppets. We appreciate it.
But we had a question the week before last for
Oh.
Greg specifically.
Right.
Yeah.
From Death Metal Mike. And I just wanted to start off with this. We're not going to belabor the point
No.
here.
Sure.
But I want to go ahead with this question because it was a Greg specific one. Death Metal Mike said, I'm thrilled to see a fellow bassist on Leog. I've been playing electric bass a total of about 2 years, and I use an Ibanez, I guess that's how you say it?
Ibanez sound gear with a
Ibanez.
Digitech pedal board, Boss overdrive, and chorus pedals. Those are effects.
Oh, somebody obviously printed out the question.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing what I do when I try to get prepared.
Wait a minute, you said pedal effects?
Okay.
What does prepare mean?
Because that's how you get the wah-wah, right?
No,
you
yeah,
have a certain
okay,
pedal.
Why does your guitar only have 4 strings?
Okay. All right. Okay. So what you usually have is you have your instrument where there's guitar or bass, and you plug it into usually effects pedals, or it can be all in one board, or it could be a series of different pedals, and then it goes into an amp. So this gentleman has got he's got a pedal board, he's got the Boss overdrive and the chorus, and a bunch of chorus pedals, and the acoustic head that he says, that's the amp head. So
Head.
So what he asked on here, which was interesting, was he asked about what kind of gear I used, and I asked also about different basses that I listen to, as opposed to what he's listed here. I mean, he's listed like Geddy Lee, Steve Harris, Geezer Butler, Jack Bruce, John Paul Jones, John Entwistle,
Great,
Jason
come on, you're
Pasolini.
killing us here.
I thought
I
Geddy
know.
Lee was the drummer.
No, Geddy Lee was the bassist singer of
Is,
Rush.
yeah,
he
the
is
guy
the
that sounds
guy-
like a ghost.
Fly by night, away
Yeah.
from here.
Yeah, he's the guy that
Yes.
sounds like somebody's kicked him square in the neck.
Right.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I swear to God, right before he sings, somebody comes up from behind him and racks him, and that's how he gets that voice.
But that's man.
No,
show
so-
business is hard.
Yeah, it is. So, I mean, to be real quick, and actually what I'm going to start doing, because I've been lax on it, is that I will start updating my profile and also have discussions in the Leog Lounge about if anybody has music questions so I can go into more detail. But briefly...
Too
If
late.
you're down with the bass.
Yeah, if you're down with the bass or anything musically. But I mean, okay, so I have a couple basses. I have a Fender Jazz is what I'm playing out here. This is the Fender Jazz 78 Fender Jazz, which is to me the bass. And then I have I have an Ibanez at home, and I got a couple guitars, and I've had a series of basses in my life. I play with a 410 cabinet. That's a big cabinet with 4 speakers, and I have got an amp, and I've got a bunch of different pedals. I really need to go into this in a discussion because I'll bore everybody. But
I don't even know what you're talking
Exactly.
about.
I know.
Too late.
I'm speaking Chinese here, but I will talk about the different basses, the ones that he listed. And he says he's Death Metal Mike, so I kind of know he's listening to probably
We list
metal
Geezer
basses.
Butler for God's
Yeah,
sake.
Geezer. No, hey,
Which I don't really, okay, all right, no offense.
You
but
know
I
who he
love
is.
Black Sabbath. I
Right.
do, but when I think of Black Sabbath, I don't go, what
bass.
It's just not the first thing that pops into my mind.
And so
It's like with Primus, people don't go, "Wow, what a great guitarist." It's
Well,
just
I don't
not
know.
the-
I'm
Right,
a big fan
exactly.
of Murderface from Death Clock.
I don't even know who. That
I have
is.
no idea what you're talking about.
I love Deathlock. He's the cyborg dude, right?
Oh no, I know that. I didn't realize.
face.
I didn't realize he had a band.
I
didn't
have
either.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, you guys, you being morons.
Isn't
now.
he
Shut up.
Captain America in the future?
That's so awesome. Yeah. Wait. Are there comics with musicians in them?
There has to be.
There's a cartoon
Ooh,
called
there's-
Metalocalypse.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're
With a
talking
death
about.
metal
I don't
band,
watch that
a Scandinavian death metal band.
You lying
Oh.
bitch. That's
Dazzler.
all over your hard drive.
That's
There's
interesting.
Dazzler.
That's interesting.
Dazzler.
I am
Dazzler
learning something there.
rocks.
But I will say,
And she's
I will
hot.
be brief. There's 5 bass players that I really listened to that he didn't list. Marcus Miller.
Who's that?
Marcus
He used
Miller.
to do the voice of Aquaman on the old Filmation
Yeah.
cartoons.
Okay, yeah, I know who that is. Then okay, next.
No, Marcus Miller used to play with Luther Vandross, and he played with Miles Davis and all that stuff.
Andy had time to do the Aquaman.
Yes, because he's a very talented guy.
Wow.
James Jamerson. Now everybody should be familiar with him. If you listen to any Motown
Editor
record,
of the Daily Bugle.
Yeah, I was about
yes,
to.
editor of the
I came
James
so close
Jamerson.
to leaping over
James-
my mic stand and
James
just
Jamerson.
slapping my hand over Jason's mouth.
James Jonah
Wait, doesn't he
Jameson.
turn into a werewolf? Shut up!
So I need to give these guys superhero names then. So James Jonah Jameson, but actually the guy's name is James Jamerson.
You're
He
starting to
played-
figure out what our touchstones are here.
I kind of
for
like
reality.
that. That's kind of cool.
I'm just trying to put it in a framework I can understand.
But
okay.
well, I'll put in a framework you understand. Motown.
And that framework
Everybody,
is werewolves.
No, but everybody knows Motown. And any of the Marvin Gaye stuff, Four Top stuff, Temptation stuff from the '60s. James Jamerson. That was all James Jamerson playing the bass. Larry Graham's the guy who invented slapping. He played with Sly and the Family Stone. You know, he invented.
He invented
Yeah,
slapping?
yeah.
So it wasn't Les Claypool.
I'm not even going to answer that. But no,
All I can relate
no, it
to
was
is
not.
my own little world.
No, it wasn't Les Claypool or Flea. But it was no, it was Larry Graham. And another bassist that he didn't notice, that he didn't list on here, that people forget about. It's Paul McCartney.
Oh, you just got called out, dude.
What? What do you mean?
No, not you.
No, this
No.
guy.
Oh, Death Metal Mike. You're
Death
calling.
Metal
yeah.
You are calling
yeah,
him
yeah.
out.
You just
No,
called him
no. He's
You-
only
no,
been
you
playing
totally
for
did.
2 years.
No, I love Paul McCartney. He had that sweet viola type bass.
Well, yeah.
That was
I mean,
fucking
Paul
awesome.
McCartney had like, again, I will do an update in the lounge about like different McCartney bass lines to listen to because he was an amazing bassist. Not only that, he sang at the same time.
Can you play
which is
one
difficult.
for us?
Famous bass line.
Oh!
Hey, there we go.
My man is smooth.
Oh yeah. Oh, and this
Not
is
bad. Aerosmith. That's a great song.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. In general, I will if you have actual music questions, I will answer them in the lounge because I like
Yeah,
to go
you
into
need
detail.
to do an FAQ page.
Yes, I will.
I think
Get you-
Cyrus
get you
stopped
one out.
recording like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
I did. I don't even know what y'all.
I
are
know
talking
what,
about.
huh? Who?
Yeah,
what?
I'm
is
so
it?
Wait, we were recording?
We're gonna move on to subjects that Cyrus is more familiar with.
It's all about
Like
you.
self-
Like
Abuse.
girls. Just kidding.
I didn't learn how to play an instruments because
Played
well,
a skin flute.
Thank you,
Tiny
Captain Middle
instrument
School.
too.
What a funny guy. Champ 0215,
Hey, John, what's up?
who is also known as John. I already read the notes.
You like that shout out? Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Champ
His
0215.
name's John. He's a cool dude.
I love that he named himself Champ, but he couldn't even be like the first guy to be Champ.
Yeah, he's the 215th champ. Good luck,
Maybe
buddy.
he's only a champ at 2:15 every day. Have you thought
after
about that?
after you like tried to use Champ 214 times and couldn't. Wouldn't you think like, well, maybe I'm not the champ?
Honestly, that's the point where Champ jumps the shark for me.
Oh,
really,
man.
in the rankings of champions.
But hey, what is Champ 0215 90210 ask?
The shortened version of his question is, what movie would you have wanted a sequel to that didn't have one? And this is the shortest question we got to ask probably in the entire
I go
thing.
first. I claim
I
it.
know what my
Oh,
answer
no,
is.
me.
Me.
Leon goes first because he was the last to raise his hand.
When are you in charge? What
I've
the fuck?
been in charge.
2 words.
Edit you the fuck out.
2 words. Unbreakable.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay,
And
that's
it was
good.
Oh, wait, is that one word?
Then it was. I don't even know if that counts because it was supposed to be a trilogy,
Right.
And then people.
If they didn't make it, it counts.
yeah, no. I'm
And
just
then
saying
M. Night
with the sense that-
Shyamalan Ding Dong lost his goddamn monkey mind.
Yes,
No.
he did.
Honestly, you know what? As much as it pains me to take his side,
Yeah.
he approached them with the idea of a trilogy. And they were like, well, yeah, that's nice and all, but we really like what you did with The Sixth Sense. So they pushed him to make a Sixth Sense-like movie.
Stick to the twist endings, Indian boy.
And
Go
then,
away.
and then when it didn't work, they blamed him for it.
Really?
No,
Yeah.
I agree completely. In fact, they marketed it as if it was like a sequel to The Sixth Sense, pretty
Yeah.
much, which
I-
was totally wrong.
I didn't like Unbreakable the first time I saw it. I really didn't. I know. I was pissed off because I was like, do I really need to see 20 seconds of Bruce Willis pouring a glass of OJ? No. But then the second time I went back and watched it, I was like, okay, I get where they're going with this, and it's actually pretty damn good.
Well, it's people talk about The Dark Knight now being like this realistic. This is superheroes in the real
that's
world.
the Batman movie.
You haven't seen that? You're not
Nah.
familiar with that one yet? Okay, you should check that
Yeah,
out.
they made a second Batman, believe it or not.
I
Who
love
knew?
Adam
First
West.
one was garbage, so I was like, what are they thinking?
Wait, is this one Bruce Wayne? Because I know they're planning on getting rid of
No,
him
this is
somehow.
Azrael.
Oh, cool.
Well,
but,
it's funny
but
because-
this is what that first. This is the
Yeah.
Dark Knight beforehand. The geeks had yet to, claim the castle. If this had come out now, people would have been had a very different reaction.
It screwed the pooch on the end. It was an ending that left a lot of people pissed off. Because I remember seeing it with Corey, and the way it ended so abruptly in such a bad way had the audience angry. And he and I laughed at how the audience reacted to it. We were like, wow, what a shitty ending that was. But in between getting up from our chairs and walking out of the theater, we went, wait a minute. That was a fucking brilliant movie.
There are some damn good moments in that. I
Yeah.
mean, seriously, one of my favorite moments from the last several years is when Bruce Willis's son is reading the paper and he realizes that they're talking about this hooded hero and it's his dad.
Yeah.
And he starts crying because he's so happy, and he looks up and Bruce Willis puts a finger over his mouth and is like, shh.
Yeah,
shh,
when you were
don't
like
say
11
anything."
years old and you'd realize that your dad was a fucking superhero, it would have been the most profound moment of your whole life, no matter how long you live.
Honestly, if my dad had been a superhero, he would have been Hancock.
Yeah,
he was
that's
he was
true.
he was a,
Because
he was
he
a raging
masturbated
alcoholic most of the time.
Wow.
I got some ass whoopings coming to me.
All right. Well, Bo, you obviously you and Jason were both happy to respond.
Yes.
But Bo, go ahead.
Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh, you son of a
I
bitch.
called it.
I was going to say that.
I
Wait,
win.
Buckaroo Banzai against the World Crime League.
It's the World Crime League.
Yeah.
Promised for years. Somebody actually asked me a question about it today because if we go back to Leog 1, when I talked about the screenwriter for Fanboys is a friend of mine named Ernie Klein. Great guy.
didn't know you
But
knew
one of
Ernie.
he kind of had a little moment of internet fame before Fanboys even came out for actually writing a script for Buckaroo Banzai against the World Crime League. I managed to read it. Unfortunately, he had to take it down off his site for a variety of reasons, but it was awesome. It would have been.
When you and I first became friends,
Yeah.
one of the things that we became friends over was we were talking about Buckaroo Banzai, and he's like, "Oh, well, I know Sky Ernie who wrote the script, and I've got it if you want it." And I was like,
Yeah.
One of those things you'd heard about it out there, but you couldn't find it anywhere.
And it's really cool. I
It
mean,
is really good.
it just like it takes a lot of the stuff from the first movie that you kind of wonder about, and you're like, oh wow, that makes perfect sense, and oh, you brought this back, and that's just it's really great. And obviously everybody is a little too long in the tooth now to do it. I mean, have you seen Paul Weller lately when he's doing
Peter
like his-
Weller.
Peter
or,
Weller.
Excuse
Peter
me,
Weller.
Peter. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking about the Style Council for a second.
Come on, Greg, know any Style Council song?
Oh my God, no, I don't.
Of course,
You
I
can
got
play.
that.
You can please play the jam before you
Yeah,
play the
yeah,
Style
yeah, play-
Council.
play
You
the
got
bitterness
Town
pill.
Called Malice or something like that.
Oh my
That's it.
God,
I
no!
don't got it.
I know, but no, I don't know that Style Academy. Sorry,
But Peter Weller, yeah. If you've seen a picture of him lately on the History Channel doing like lectures from Syracuse University, he's not Buckaroo Banzai anymore.
And honestly,
Yeah.
he stopped
He's a
being
history
Buckaroo
professor.
Banzai like 3 years after
Oh,
Buckaroo
yeah,
Banzai.
pretty much.
what?
No, but that's one of those series though that you could recast the entire
Oh, yeah,
thing,
absolutely.
and it would be fine.
You know
honestly.
why?
Who would you
because,
put in there?
Because
Reno.
Buckaroo Banzai is Doc Savage.
Yeah,
That's why.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, you're exactly right.
Okay, how would you
It is.
recast it then?
That's a good question.
I can't
wish
pull any
had
names
had
off the
a chance
hat,
to-
but if you give me a couple hours to go on IMDb and think about it,
Well,
Yeah.
Buckaroo Banzai would be The Rock.
No, he wouldn't.
Go from there.
I wish you could see
Talk
the
amongst
look of
yourselves.
disgust on my face right now.
What about-
Nothing against The Rock.
What about Johnny Depp?
Nothing against him, but do
Dwayne
you
Johnson?
Really?
Come on.
Because every time anybody brings up any kind of well-built, muscular superhero, which Buckaroo Banzai isn't, for the
That's what I said,
record,
Johnny
you,
Depp.
you immediately
Have you
bring up
even
his name.
seen Buckaroo Banzai?
And you're just like, please, Hollywood, please put Dwayne Johnson in a good
Andy
movie. That's
Dick
all I want.
Looks more like Buckaroo Banzai
Johnny
than The
Depp.
Rock does.
Johnny
I'm
Depp
going to
should be
keep
Buckaroo
crowbarring The Rock
Damn,
into
I'd
these
watch that.
movies until you guys accept
Okay,
it.
first off, moratorium on claiming Johnny Depp for any roles. at
No.
all,
I
honestly,
am
at this
so.
point.
You know what? Everybody loves Johnny Depp. They're like,
I
oh, he's
love
such a great-
Johnny Depp. I do.
Well, you know what? I don't.
You know what? He's had enough great roles. Let's just leave him
That's
alone.
funny,
for a
'cause
little
you're
while.
wrong.
I mean, I think.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'm not saying he's not a good actor,
Leonardo DiCaprio could
but
do
he
that.
can't do everything. And matter of fact, the last 2 or 3 things I saw him in, I thought he wasn't that good.
Yeah,
at.
he was wretched at Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Well, let's face it. If there was a
Thank you.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're being
absolutely
sarcastic.
wretched. And with a better director, somebody would have said, what are you doing? And stop it.
there
But
was a
Tim Burton was
sequel-
just like, oh, it's Johnny, and he's acting weird. I'll let him go.
If
Yes.
there was a sequel
Sweeney
or a
Todd.
reboot to Buckaroo Banzai, Johnny Depp wouldn't even be a question. Let's face it. So let's think realistically here on here. Who would play Buckaroo Banzai? Who they
Richard
could actually
Grieco.
get?
Oh,
Well played.
Richard Grieco.
yeah. You know what? Now that Jason said Richard Grieco, that's all I can think about.
Joshua Gordon-Levitt.
What's
Corey
no,
Haim.
he's his son.
No. I'm going to say Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Could do it.
Yes.
I'm
That
gonna-
is
wow.
good.
Ryan
Yes.
Reynolds is like my answer to everything.
I'm gonna say
You guys
Jude-
But
agree?
he
Okay.
works. He fits almost everything.
I'm going to say Jude Law.
No.
Jude Law fits in that
No.
high-end, can't say it, Johnny Depp category.
Jude Law doesn't do
Who
any
I know,
comedy.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
No,
You make
I'm
it black.
okay with that.
Make
I
it
think,
black.
yeah.
you can't make Buckaroo Banzai
Yes,
black.
you can.
Oh, but if you did, it could be Morgan Freeman because Morgan Freeman can sell anything.
That's true.
Hello,
You can pretty much, you
I'm
can make
Buckaroo
Morgan
Banzai.
Freeman Jesus, and nobody would
No.
say
Yeah.
a
The
goddamn
only
thing.
the
They
only
would say
guy
Jesus
you
needs
could
braces.
the only guy you could
Oh, is he
safely
English?
the only guy you could safely bring back, Clancy Brown. I could still see him carrying off Rawhide at this point.
Yeah. Except he's the one guy who died. So
Yeah. Well, if you read the script.
Well, Jason, you were the one person who hasn't answered this question.
Well, I was actually going to say Buckaroo Banzai. but,
Suck it, Jason.
Instead,
hope you are.
okay, fine. You know what? Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins.
Nice answer.
I was totally kidding.
And
Goonies.
Fred Ward is still alive.
No, that,
you don't think
that was a great movie.
that was
What
a
are you
great
talking about?
answer.
Yeah, no, it was no Goonies. Remo Williams. Come on.
Remo Williams goes.
Only if Josh Brolin is still in it.
it goes. It's like one in that set of movies that was always meant to be a series
yeah.
of movies. Like my answer would have been until I thought of Unbreakable. It would have been the Zero Effect.
Zero Effects are great.
Yeah, and I could totally like see like other adventures of this character.
Yeah.
Where it's like I see the movie, I'm like, wow, I can't wait to read these books. It's like, no,
it's-
there's no books. He just wrote the script.
Okay,
Zero
no.
Effect is kind of like, in its own way, it's a Fletchish type of thing.
Right.
Except
Yeah.
not as goofy.
Right.
You know, it's somewhere between Fletch and Douglas Adams' Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul type thing, the Dirk Gently's holistic detective agency stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, you're right. I would have loved to have seen more, but is that guy even still alive? I don't know.
My real answer is The Matrix.
Shut up. All right.
That's cool, man.
You know, dude, if you're not gonna play,
Seriously.
Since Bo and Leon took two of my three possible answers, I'm going to go with my third, which is The Incredibles.
Oh, yeah. Well
How'd you get
done.
that?
Which
Yeah.
is a film
Good
I would
job.
kill or die to
They
see.
don't
a
have
really
that
good-
in production?
let me.
No, they don't.
Really?
Let me.
However, well, we'll get into the other.
I'd like to just reiterate. It's like they never wrote, another Incredibles. However, Boom Studios is going to be producing an Incredibles comic book,
Yeah.
which will be written by Mark Waid, who wrote some of the best Fantastic Four issues since Stan Lee. Well, all right. Hear that bass?
Bass sounds good.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Digging it.
This week we've got a core subject again, actual pre-planned subject.
All right.
And this is a big one. This is not what you expect. It's not We're not focusing on a superhero. Sorry.
We're not talking about Spider-Man for once.
We'll get back to
Or
that next
ElfQuest,
time.
thank God.
Yes, we're not talking about ElfQuest. Sorry, friends that care.
Shut up.
We're doing a preview of the fall movies that might have a chance of being halfway decent.
Okay, I want to say this. At the time when The Dark Knight came out, and everybody was like, man, Heath Ledger's got to get an Oscar for that. I'm like, you guys, we've been doing this a long time. We know that no matter what happens in the summer, it's the fall movies.
Fall movies are Oscar season.
That's the Oscar season. That can make all the difference in the world.
Yes.
Now, when I scan what's coming up in the fall, I'm looking back at Dark Knight going like, hey, maybe it's got a shot.
it does.
It looks a
They're
little
gonna
grim
re-release
this
it.
year.
They're gonna
Honestly,
re-release
Who's going to be the villain in Dark Knight
Shut up.
in part 3?
I think the Penguin
I'll
totally.
kill you.
Well, you know what? If we're going
And
to
the
talk about
Riddler.
that, I will tell you.
No, you won't.
All right, fine.
Josh, that is a
Re-releasing it.
that is.
But it should be.
Sorry.
It's forbidden 404. Thank you.
Okay,
All
Marlon
right.
Brando. It is forbidden, Kal-El. It is forbidden, forbidden, forbidden. It is forbidden, forbidden, forbidden.
But,
Renew.
it's funny because there are a lot of movies that look good, but none like real interesting, but they don't really look like they have a shot at the Oscar.
Yeah, nothing's really looking like it's gonna knock it out of the park.
But let's take a look real quick. We're gonna run through stuff. If y'all
sure.
have anything you want to
Sure, what
say,
you
I'm
got
not
there?
reading out like all the details, but y'all saw the list. So first off, coming up real shortly is Appaloosa, which is a western, which I haven't even so much as seen a trailer for until I saw it was coming out.
I didn't even know about it until you sent the thing out.
Yeah,
That's weird, Jason, because you're the Western guy.
know,
and
I
I knew
know.
about this.
I knew about it too.
And I watched the trailer, and hot
Yeah.
damn, I am excited to see this movie.
It's directed by Ed Harris,
Who
one of
also
the
stars in
actors,
it.
Who also stars in it.
Yeah, with Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, how can you not like
Now,
that?
Jeremy
now-
Irons.
Now, this is something I got to say, and I know it's going to be unpopular, but like Viggo Mortensen's last two movies that were so extremely popular, right? It was like, oh, History of Violence or Eastern Promises. These are the Oscar movies.
I loved those movies.
History of Violence, I thought was absolutely fucking stupid.
I know you did, and I loved it.
And Eastern Promises, the way you guys rated about it, I couldn't wait to see it. Greg and I saw it together, and I fell asleep on it.
So are you
That's-
discounting yourself from discussing this because
That's-
that's Viggo Mortensen?
I was the guy who
'Cause
went,
we've got no
Eastern
problem with
Promises is really good, but it's not as good as History of
Yeah,
Violence.
that's really cute, Leon. So anyway,
There weren't enough black people in the movie.
I can sit here and give you guys a laundry list of what's wrong with History of Violence.
Well,
Now I
this
got to
is
talk
not-
about cowboy movies.
This is
Fuck
not a
this.
David Cronenberg film.
But I love Westerns.
Yeah, I love Ed Harris.
I mean, we loved the westerns that came out last year. It's Ed
This
Harris.
is Ed Harris playing bad cop and Viggo Mortensen playing very bad cop.
I
or
can't
However,
wait.
they're
I-
interchanging.
Well,
the
no, the
roles.
other way around.
Yeah, I guess it is the other way around.
No, Ed
but-
Harris and Viggo Mortensen are the good cops, and Jeremy Irons is the bad.
Well, yeah, he's the
ranch
bad guy, but they're like, basically.
And
you
then
know,
Renee Zellweger shows up, and everyone goes, "What's
Yeah.
wrong with your face?
What's wrong with your eyes?
Yeah.
Open your
I
eyes.
just well, that's the thing I love, like reading the premise of this. Basically, it sounds like she's olive oil, and those two guys are Popeye and Pluto.
I
Shelley
really,
Long.
really hope that Ed Harris does a better accent than he did in Enemy at the Gates, where he's the Nazi sniper who sounds like some guy from Ohio.
Iowa.
I know a lot of Nazis who are pissed about that. So, anyway, the next movie we got is Hound Dog, coming out September 19th. Now,
Is this about Elvis?
honestly, this is a movie that
Kinda.
would never even have met. or
Wait,
I
is
would
this the
never
one
have
with
bought
all
it-
the dancing chihuahuas?
No, this is the one
'Cause
where
that's
Dakota
awesome.
Fanning, the little girl
Yeah.
actress Dakota Fanning, is. I thought she got raped, but apparently she witnesses a rape.
Oh,
Some-
yeah,
some-
yeah.
I
remember
read
hearing all
about the scene, and I think
controversy.
she actually does get raped.
Is she
in
the
that.
one who actually?
I
Okay,
think